Students, in this video we are going to learn about quadratic equation for class 10 students. In this video series we are going to learn all the basic concepts of quadratic equations, which is going to help you in enhancing your skills to solve problems related to the quadratic equation chapter. So let's start. Let's first understand what is quadratic equations. A quadratic equation is a polynomial equation of degree 2 in one variable x, expressed in the standard form, which is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a is not equal to 0, because if a equals to 0, then this term, that is ax square, will be equal to 0 into x square, which is equal to 0, and the remaining equation will be bx plus c, which is not a quadratic equation. Here we have a, b, c are real numbers. A is the coefficient of x square. So what is coefficient here? Let's understand with the help of this equation. Here we have 2x raised to the power 2 plus 3x plus 1 is equal to 0. Now if we see that the constant term along with x square, which is 2, is the coefficient of x square. Similarly, the coefficient of x here is 3. This is the coefficient, and 1 is the constant number here. Here we have a is the coefficient of x square, and b is the coefficient of x, and c is the constant term. Here we have used the term degree 2. So what is degree 2? If we have an equation like this, 2x raised to the power 2 plus 5x plus 1 is equal to 0, and another equation is x raised to the power 3 plus 3x square plus 5x plus 1 is equal to 0, and another equation is x plus 2 is equal to 0. Here we have written 3 equations for better understanding about what is degree. So here we have first equation, this is your first equation, and this is your second equation, and this is your third equation. Here we have the highest power of x in this particular equation, that is equation number 1 is 2 here. Therefore, we can say that the degree of this particular equation is nothing but 2. Similarly, if we check our equation number 2, here we have the highest power of x is nothing but 3. Hence, we can say that the degree of this particular equation that is equation number 2 is 3. And for equation number 3 we have x raised to the power nothing, that means x raised to the power 1 is there. Therefore we can say that degree of this particular equation is 1, and such a equation with degree 1 is called a linear equation, and equation which is having a degree 2 is called a quadratic equation, and an equation which is having a degree 3 is called a cubic polynomial. So that was all about the quadratic equation. Now let's move further. Here we are discussing which equation is a quadratic and which equation is not a quadratic equation. So first equation is 2x square plus 3x minus 5, and this particular equation is having a degree 2 as we have discussed. Therefore we can say that this is a quadratic equation. Similarly, if we check our second equation, here also we have degree 2, hence we can say that this is also a quadratic equation. Now let's check our third equation, which is 3x plus 7 is equal to 0. Since the degree of this equation is 1 and it is a linear equation, therefore we can say that this is not a quadratic equation. Now let's move further. Here we are discussing how to solve quadratic equations by using different methods. So here we have our first method, which is factorization method. Now let's understand this method in detail. First step is to write the equation in standard form, which is ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0, which we have discussed earlier. Step 2 is factorize the quadratic expression into two linear factors. That means every factor will be having a degree 1. So there will be two linear factors, and every quadratic equation will be having two roots, which we are going to discuss later as well. Now step 3 is set each factor equal to 0 and solve for x. Now let's understand with the help of examples. So students, let's understand with the help of this example. Here we have x square minus 5x plus 6 equals to 0. Now what we are going to do, we are going to split the middle term in a manner so that the sum of those two terms will be equal to the product of this and this, that is a and c. So let's understand in more detail how you are going to split. Our standard equation of quadratic is ax square plus bx plus c equals to 0. That means the coefficient of x square is a and coefficient of x is b and c is your constant. So first you have to find the product of a and c. Find product of A and C, which is equal to A into C. Now you have to find the prime factors of this particular product so that you will get different factors. After that, first understand this step with the help of this particular example. Here we have A is equal to 1 because x square is having no coefficient, that means the coefficient is 1, and B is equal to minus 5. So this is very important, as here we have the negative sign and our standard equation is plus bx. So if you are going to compare B with this, you are going to get B is equal to minus 5. Similarly, we have C is equal to 6. Now if we multiply 6 with 1, that is A into C, is going to give you 6 only. And if we take the LCM or prime factorization of 6, then you are going to get 2 and 3, that is 2 into 3 is equal to 6. Now let's go to the step number 2. That means we have to split this minus 5 in two different parts so that its sum will be equal to minus 5 and product will be equal to 6, which states that if we are going to split minus 5x as minus 3x and minus 2x, because we are also having these two factors here, therefore we have used these two factors here and applied. Here we have minus 3x minus 2x is going to give you minus 5x, and the product of these two terms is giving you 6. Let's move further. Here we have two different terms, that is first pair is this and other pair is this. Now we have used the first pair here, x square minus 3x, here we have taken the common. If we write this way, x square minus 3x, we can take x common in these two. Therefore we can write this way, x outside the bracket. If we have taken x common from this, we are getting x here. Similarly, we have taken this x outside the bracket, therefore we have minus 3 here. So that is why we have written x into x minus 3. Similarly, if we see here, we have taken minus 2 common here. Once you take minus 2 common outside the bracket, then you will get x here because you have taken 2 outside, and here you are going to get minus 3 because you have taken minus 2 outside, as minus 2 into minus 3 will give you 6. Hence we can see that both these two factors are linear, and you have to remember this thing, that these two factors should always be same. If you are not getting these two factors same, then that means your answer is wrong and you have to rework on your previous solution. Here in this particular step, we can easily take common x minus 3 and x minus 3. As we can see here, we have taken x minus 3 outside the bracket, and if we put a bracket here, let's understand here, if we have taken x minus 3 outside the bracket in both these terms, then we are going to get x here, x is remaining, and here you are going to get minus 2. Therefore, we have written x minus 3 into x minus 2, which is equal to 0, and we have to equate both these terms or both these factors separately. That means x minus 3 is equal to 0 and x minus 2 equals to 0. This further implies that x equals to 3 and here x equals to 2. Hence, we have our two solution of this quadratic equation with the help of factorization method or splitting the middle term method. Now let's understand with some more examples. So students, here we have another example, which is x square plus 7x plus 12 equals to 0, and we are going to solve this with the help of our factorization method. Now again we have to check that what is the product of a multiplied by c. Here we have a is 1, that is the coefficient of x square is 1. Therefore a is 1 into c is what? C is your constant number, which is 12. So this is going to give you nothing but 12 here. Now our next step is we have to split this 7 in two different parts so that the sum of those two parts will be equal to 7 and the product of those two parts will be equal to 12. Now let's first do the prime factor of 12 or the LCM of 12, which is nothing but 2, 6, 12, 3, 2, 6, 2, 1, this. So here we have three different factors, that is 2 into 3 into 2, and we can write it this way like 4 comma 3 as well, because the sum of 4 plus 3 is 7, what we required, and the product of 4 and 3 is 12, what we required. Therefore we have split this 7 in two parts, that is 3x and 4x. Now we can easily see that in this particular terms, that is x square plus 3x, you can easily take common x as we have done in our previous example. Now put a bracket here. Here you are going to get only x as you have taken out 1x outside. Now you can write here 3 because you have taken this x outside. So you are going to get x plus 3 as a factor. Similarly, we are going to factorize or simplify this particular term. Here we have taken 4 outside because we can simply take 4 common from 4x plus 12. Here we have taken 4 outside, therefore we are having x plus 3 here, and as we have discussed, both these two factors should be same, otherwise our working was wrong. So here we have x plus 3 common and we have taken x plus 3 common here, and we are going to get x here plus 4 here, because we have taken x plus 3 outside. Therefore we can say that we have two different factors. One is x plus 3, another one is x plus 4 here. And now we are going to equate these two factors, which is x plus 3 and x plus 4. If we equate x plus 3 is equal to 0, we are going to get x equals to minus 3, because we have taken this 3 towards right side, and hence its sign will be changed. Similarly, we have x plus 4, and if we are going to equate this with 0, we are going to get x equals to minus 4, and hence we can say our solutions are x equal to minus 4 and x equals to minus 3 here. So students, here we have another example, which is 2x square plus 9x plus 7 equals to 0, and our first step will be, we have to find the product, that is a into c. So a is 2, b is 9 and c is 7. So a into c is 2 into 7, which is 14. Now here we can easily find or split this middle term into two parts. One is 2 and 7, another one, because 2 plus 7 is going to give you 9, what we require here, and 2 into 7 is equal to 14, what we require here. And hence we can split this 9x into two parts, that is 2x plus 7x. And now we can simply take 2 as well as x common in these two terms, as we have taken here, and you will be getting x here, because you have taken 2x outside here. Similarly, we have taken 2x outside here, the bracket, therefore we are having 1 only. Now we are also going to take common from this two particular terms. Here we are taking 7 outside, and we are going to get x plus 1, because we have taken 7 outside. And we are going to get the same factor here, that means our calculation is correct. Now we can take this particular factor common as we have taken here, and we are going to get 2x plus 7, because we have taken this outside. Now we have to compute or calculate this particular factor and this factor with 0, that is x plus 1 equals to 0, which is x equal to minus 1, and we are going to equate this as well, that is 2x plus 7 is equal to 0, which is, this implies 2x equals to minus 7 and x equals to minus 7 upon 2 here. Therefore we can say that we have two solutions, one is minus 1 and another one is minus 7 by 2 here. So let's understand with another example. So students, here comes our next example, and here we are going to solve this with the help of factorization method. Again we have 3x square minus 8x minus 3. So our first step is to find the product of A into C, and here we have A 3, B is -8 and C is -3. Therefore, we can say that A into C is 3 into -3, which is -9. Now here we have our factors like 9 into 1 or 3 into 3, because 3 plus 3 is not going to give you 8, and -9 plus 1 is going to give you -8 as we require here, and also -9 into 1 is going to give you -9 here. So this is very important. And also we can split -8x in two different terms. One is -9x and +1x, that is 1 here. Now we are going to simplify this particular pair and this particular pair separately. Here we have common 3x in both the cases, therefore we have taken out 3x here. Now in the bracket we are having x because we have taken 3x from this and 3x from this. Here we are getting 3 only. Similarly here we can see that nothing is coming common, therefore we can taken out 1 here. So you have to check, if nothing is coming common and we are getting the same factor as it is, we can take out 1 from this. Now we can easily take x minus 3 common from both these. Therefore we have written x minus 3 here, and remaining will be here, that is 3x, this 3x and 1 plus 1. And now we are going to solve these two factors separately, that is x minus 3 is equal to 0, which is x equals to 3, and 3x plus 1 equals to 0, which is 3x equals to -1, as we have taken it towards right side, and therefore we can say x equals to -1/3. Hence our two solutions are x equals to 3 and x equals to -1/3. Now students, I hope you have understood the concept of factorization or splitting the middle term. Now you can do practice exercise, as I am going to give you few questions so that your skills are going to enhance in solving quadratic equation with the help of factorization method. So here we have our practice questions. So students, here we have our 5 practice questions. So you can practice these questions and solve them by using factorization method. So students, I hope you have enjoyed this video and understood the method of factorization in the quadratic equation chapter. We are going to meet in our next videos, and we are going to discuss more concept on this particular chapter. Till then, goodbye and thanks a lot.